As the day's quests and adventures gently settle, find your own quiet haven. Let your body relax, sinking deeper into a soft, comfortable space. Take a slow, gentle breath in, feeling a tranquil calm spread through you. And as you exhale, release any lingering thoughts or tensions. Allow your mind to drift, following the quiet rhythm of my voice into a peaceful slumber. Tonight, we journey to a place of hushed wonders, a sanctuary woven from starlight and ancient wisdom. Imagine standing before a heavy, unadorned door. It's crafted from dark, rich oak, smooth and polished from centuries of quiet contemplation. No grand sigils here, just a subtle, almost hidden carving above the archway. A stylized crescent moon cradling a single, softly glowing star. This is the unassuming gateway to the celestial cartographer's study, a place where cosmic secrets are mapped, not shouted. As you push the door inward, it opens with a faint, almost musical creak. A soft, warm light, like banked embers or distant starlight, spills into the hallway. The air inside is still, carrying the comforting scent of aged parchment, dried herbs, and a faint whisper of something like distant cedar. Your gaze falls immediately upon a magnificent, dark wooden globe, almost touching the ceiling. Its surface is intricately inlaid with shimmering constellations, each star a tiny, polished gem, glinting softly in the room's gentle illumination. Around it, the room begins to unfold, promising further quiet discoveries, a true safe point for the weary soul. Soft crackling of a distant hearth, the soft, steady light from the central crystal orb casts gentle, dancing shadows across the quiet chamber, inviting your gaze to wander. Beyond its constant, soothing hum, a profound stillness settles, broken only by the distant, rhythmic crackle of a hearth, like a slow, comforting breath. To one side, nestled beside a tall, arched window that overlooks a faintly moonlit, serene landscape, a plush, deep crimson armchair beckons. Its velvet fabric looks worn smooth by countless unseen visitors who sought solace here, a silent testament to moments of rest and profound reflection. A hand-knitted throw, patterned with subtle ancient symbols, drapes invitingly over one arm, promising warmth and quiet comfort. Above the armchair, dark wooden shelves line the wall, laden not with the tools of adventure, but with heavy, leather-bound tomes and curious, polished artifacts. Their faded spines hint at countless stories untold, knowledge carefully preserved, and memories held safe within their pages. A tiny, intricate wooden bird, carved with remarkable detail, sits perched on one of the larger books, as if guarding its slumbering wisdom. The air in this chamber feels perfectly still and profoundly calm, carrying the faint, comforting scent of old paper and smoldering, fragrant wood. Beneath your feet, a thick, woven rug softens every potential sound, its muted blues and greens creating a quiet, earthy palette, like a tranquil forest floor under a gentle sky. Each thread seems to absorb the day's worries, leaving only a deep sense of peace. This entire space feels meticulously designed for stillness, a sanctuary where time itself slows to a gentle crawl, allowing thoughts to settle like dust motes in the crystal's soft glow. The quiet light encourages your eyes to softly close, or to simply observe the gradual, tranquil unfolding of this unique, timeless haven. The soft crackle from the distant hearth continues its rhythmic beat, a gentle lullaby in the tranquil stillness. The gentle crackle of the hearth invites a soft gaze, drawing the eye past the dancing flames to the sturdy, dark wood mantelpiece above. Upon its polished surface rests a single, unlit lantern, its aged brass casing reflecting the firelight in faint, warm glimmers. Beside it, a small, intricate hourglass, its fine sand poised, unmoving, as if time itself has paused its hurried descent within this tranquil space. Gentle crackling beyond the hearth's glow, the walls rise, lined from floor to ceiling with countless volumes, their spines a kaleidoscope of muted colors and forgotten titles. Some are grand and leather-bound, their gilt lettering faded by time. Others humble scrolls tied with delicate ribbon, each whispering tales of lore and knowledge accumulated over ages. The air carries the faint, comforting scent of old paper and ancient ink, a subtle perfume of quiet scholarship. A plush, overstuffed armchair sits nearby, positioned perfectly for reading by the fire, its velvet upholstery worn smooth by generations of scholars. A soft, woven blanket is draped over one arm, a silent invitation to settle in, hinting at countless quiet evenings spent lost within the pages of a forgotten tome. The soft light from the hearth casts long, dancing shadows across the rows of books, making the entire room feel like a treasure chest of hushed stories. The scene is one of profound peace, a sanctuary undisturbed, where the only movement is the slow flicker of the distant fire and the gentle settling of dust upon neglected shelves. This is the very heart of the scholar's sanctum, a quiet haven where the world outside seems to fade into a distant whisper. The gentle warmth from the distant fire continues to cast long, dancing shadows across the high, arching ceiling of the scholar's sanctum. Here, time seems to slow, each moment stretching into a soft eternity. The air carries the faint, comforting scent of aged parchment and polished wood, a subtle fragrance that speaks of countless stories held within countless pages. As your gaze drifts around, you notice the meticulous order amidst the vast collection. Towering shelves carved from dark, ancient timber rise almost to the ceiling, filled with volumes bound in leather, cloth, and even some with intricate metal clasps. Dust motes, caught in the soft, diffused light, drift lazily through the air, performing a silent, slow dance that mirrors the tranquil atmosphere. A little further in, tucked away from the main thoroughfare of the grand hall, there's a smaller, more intimate alcove, perhaps a favorite spot for a scholar seeking deep contemplation. A sturdy wooden desk, worn smooth by generations of use, sits quietly, topped with a single unlit quill and an open, leather-bound journal filled with elegant, faded script. Nearby, a comfortable high-backed chair, upholstered in dark, deep green velvet, invites rest. The light here is softer still, filtering through a narrow, stained glass window high above, casting patches of muted amethyst and gold onto the stone floor. It's a place designed for quiet thought, for the slow unfolding of ancient mysteries. The only sound is the almost imperceptible rustle of air, and perhaps, if you listen very closely, the quiet whisper of old paper, breathing gently in the silence. It's a space where knowledge resides, not as a demanding master, but as a comforting, ever-present companion. Very faint crackle of distant fireplace, the faint, almost imperceptible crackle from a distant hearth, is a gentle whisper, a companion to the soft rustle of pages turned long ago. You find yourself standing before a vast, curved wall of shelves, each one laden with books bound in leather, some smooth and polished, others worn with the touch of centuries. The spines glow softly in the ambient light, a tapestry of muted reds, deep greens, and earthen browns. Each volume feels like a treasure, not demanding to be read, but simply present, holding its secrets comfortably. Ahead, a narrow, winding corridor of shelves stretches deeper into the mountain's heart, inviting a quiet exploration. The sheer number of books is staggering, yet the arrangement feels orderly, almost intuitive, as if the library itself guides you. The air here is cool and still, carrying the subtle, comforting scent of aged paper and dry wood, a fragrance that speaks of timelessness. You notice a small, sturdy ladder, almost carved from the same dark timber as the shelves themselves, leaning against one of the taller sections. Its rungs are smooth from countless climbs, a silent invitation to reach for knowledge suspended just out of casual reach. Perhaps a rare volume nestled high above. Beyond the immediate expanse of books, through a graceful, arched gap in the towering rows, you can glimpse the soft, flickering light of what must be that distant fireplace. It casts long, dancing shadows on another section of the library, revealing more untold corners and quiet nooks. It promises a warmth that is both physical and spiritual, a quiet sanctuary within this grand archive. The vastness of the mountain library doesn't overwhelm. Instead, it cradles you, a quiet guardian of stories and wisdom, offering a peaceful embrace in its gentle, expansive silence. Subtle, distant hoot of an owl, the quiet guardian of stories, this mountain library now invites you deeper into its embrace. As your eyes adjust to the soft glow emanating from hidden sources, you notice the gentle curve of a winding staircase, its ancient stone worn smooth by countless hands seeking knowledge or solace. It ascends gradually, not steeply, suggesting a relaxed climb rather than an urgent ascent. Each step seems to absorb sound, contributing to the profound stillness that permeates this space. You find yourself drawn towards a section bathed in a particularly warm, golden light, emanating from what appears to be a series of alcoves carved directly into the mountain rock. These aren't just shelves, they are cozy reading nooks, each with a small, sturdy table and a surprisingly comfortable-looking wooden chair, softened by a thick, woven cushion. Above each table, a small, intricate lantern, perhaps powered by some ancient, gentle magic, casts its inviting light directly onto the open pages of forgotten texts. The air here carries the faint, sweet scent of aged paper and something akin to pine, a whisper from the mountain itself. You can almost feel the presence of past readers, their quiet contemplation lingering like a warm, residual energy. Dust motes dance lazily in the lantern beams, miniature galaxies in the hushed atmosphere. On one of the tables, a heavy, leather-bound volume lies open, its pages filled with elegant, faded script. It speaks of constellations and forgotten star charts, inviting a quiet moment of wonder. The mountain library continues to unfold its gentle secrets, one tranquil alcove at a time. Soft rustle of pages, very faint, the soft rustle of pages seems to echo gently, a companion to the quiet hum of the ancient structure. Beyond the alcove of forgotten star charts, the path winds further inward, not with a sudden turn, but a gradual unfolding. You find yourself drawn towards a slightly wider area, where the towering shelves recede just enough to reveal a grand, circular map table. Soft, distant sound of wind, this table, crafted from dark, polished wood, gleams faintly under the subdued light that filters from high, arched windows, giving a sense of being deep within the mountain, but still connected to the outside world. Its surface is adorned with an array of scrolls and charts, meticulously unrolled and held flat by small, smooth stones, worn smooth by countless hands. One large map, in particular, captures the eye. It's a sprawling depiction of ancient mountain ranges, their peaks rendered in delicate, almost whispered lines, crisscrossed by trails long since reclaimed by nature. You can almost trace the journeys of long-forgotten scholars and explorers, their routes etched into the parchment with a careful, steady hand. Beside the map, a single, flickering lantern casts a warm, golden glow, illuminating not just the parchment, but also a small, leather-bound journal. Its pages are filled with neat, looping script, hinting at observations and discoveries made under countless quiet skies. The air here is still, carrying the faint scent of aged paper and distant pine, comforting embrace within the heart of this venerable mountain library. Each detail whispers of gentle histories, waiting patiently to be discovered as the soft light gently warms the quiet space. Subtle crackle of a distant lantern, very faint, the soft light, perhaps from an unseen window high above, or a carefully placed orb, now leads your gaze deeper into the vast expanse of the mountain library. You notice how the air itself seems to shimmer with the scent of aged parchment and cool stone, a comforting aroma that has settled here for centuries. Your footsteps, if you were to take any, would be absorbed by the thick, woven rugs that line the central aisle, their patterns faded, but still hinting at forgotten crests and symbols. Soft rustle of turning pages, very distant ahead. The towering shelves rise even higher, disappearing into the vaulted ceiling that is carved directly from the living rock of the mountain. Tiny, luminous mosses occasionally punctuate the smooth stone, casting a faint, ethereal glow that highlights the intricate carvings around a grand, arched doorway. This doorway, unlike the others you've passed, seems to guard a more secluded chamber, its ancient wooden frame polished smooth by countless hands over time. You pause before it, feeling no need to rush, simply observing the quiet majesty of its entrance. On either side, heavy, ornate pedestals hold enormous, leather-bound tomes, their covers embossed with symbols of stars and constellations. These aren't just books. They feel like repositories of cosmic memory, silent observers of deep time. The air here is a touch cooler, almost as if it holds the stillness of the mountain's core, yet it remains utterly safe and welcoming. A single, forgotten quill rests near one of the pedestals, its feather still pristine, as if the scholar who last used it merely stepped away for a moment, promising to return. The entire space breathes with a slow, ancient rhythm, a gentle hum of knowledge, inviting quiet contemplation. You might even imagine a faint, almost imperceptible warmth emanating from the pages themselves, a testament to the stories they hold. The faint warmth from the ancient pages seems to guide your gaze now, drawing you deeper into the hushed expanse of the mountain library. The air, though cool and fresh, carries a subtle scent of aged paper and dry mountain herbs, a comforting embrace. As you drift past tall, silent shelves, carved from dark, sturdy wood, you notice a soft, steady glow emanating from a quiet alcove in the distance. It's not a harsh, intrusive light, but a gentle, almost buttery illumination, hinting at a cozy, secluded reading space, a haven within this vast repository of knowledge. Moving closer, your steps are hushed by the thick, woven rugs that line the floor, absorbing all sound. You see a sturdy, polished wooden desk, its surface worn smooth by generations of scholarly hands, telling tales of quiet dedication. Upon it rests a single, softly glowing orb, casting its warm radiance across an open, leather-bound volume. The orb pulses with a slow, almost imperceptible rhythm, like a quiet heartbeat, a gentle companion in the stillness. Perhaps it is a magical light source, or perhaps it holds ancient knowledge, quietly preserving the delicate pages beneath its glow. The open book displays intricate, hand-drawn maps of forgotten lands, their borders softened by time, their details inviting a peaceful, imaginative journey across parchment. A plush, velvet-covered armchair, deep emerald green, is tucked comfortably beside the desk, looking profoundly inviting, ready for someone to settle in and lose themselves in stories. A small, intricately carved wooden bookmark, perhaps shaped like a sleeping dragon or a celestial star, peeks from between some pages at the very end of the book. The silence here is profound, broken only by the occasional soft crackle from a distant, hidden hearth, a sound that merely deepens the tranquility of this sanctuary. This alcove feels like a secret discovered, a perfect place to simply be, surrounded by silent wisdom. The soft, rhythmic crackle from a distant, hidden hearth continues, a sound that merely deepens the tranquility of this sanctuary. This alcove feels like a secret discovered, a perfect place to simply be, surrounded by silent wisdom. Your eyes might drift along the spine of a book, then another, their titles hinting at forgotten realms and ancient lore. Each volume, a silent sentinel, waits patiently for a curious mind. The air here carries a faint, comforting scent of aged parchment and polished wood, a unique perfume that only deep libraries possess. It's a fragrance that speaks of untold stories, of quiet contemplation, and of the slow passage of centuries within these hallowed walls. Perhaps you notice a particular shelf, slightly recessed, holding a collection of smaller, leather-bound tomes. Their covers are worn smooth by countless hands over generations, their pages perhaps filled with botanical sketches of mountain flora or intricate maps of hidden passes through peaks long shrouded in mist. There's a comforting weight to the knowledge held within these walls, not demanding, but simply present, like the steady, quiet breath of the mountain itself. You can almost feel the presence of past scholars who sat here, perhaps tracing the same words with their fingers, their thoughts blending with the very fabric of the library. A gentle draft, almost imperceptible, might stir a loose page in a nearby open book, revealing a faded illustration of a celestial map, or a careful inscription in a script unknown, hinting at the vastness of the cosmos beyond these stone walls. The light, still soft and diffused, seems to settle on these details, inviting closer inspection without urgency. It's a place where time slows, where each rustle of a page or creak of the old wood floorboards is a part of the quiet symphony of learning and rest. This corner of the mountain library cradles you, a quiet guardian of stories untold and dreams waiting to unfold, a silent haven far above the world. As the gentle echoes of the library settle around you, the soft glow from the distant windows seems to beckon, drawing your gaze toward a subtly arching doorway. This isn't a grand exit, but rather a quiet continuation, a passage carved into the very rock of the mountain itself, leading deeper into the heart of this scholarly sanctuary. You notice the air here is a touch cooler, carrying a faint, earthy scent mixed with the familiar aroma of aged paper and polished wood. The path is narrow, lined with bookshelves that seem to lean in conspiratorially, their spines displaying titles in ancient, flowing scripts. Each step is cushioned by thick, woven rugs that absorb any sound, ensuring the profound silence of the mountain library remains undisturbed. The corridor winds gently, a soft curve guiding you away from the main hall's expansive view and into a more intimate space. It opens into a small, circular chamber lit not by the distant moon, but by a soft, internal luminescence emanating from its center. Here, standing majestically, is an enormous celestial globe. It slowly rotates, a miniature cosmos of shimmering constellations and swirling nebulae, rendered in exquisite detail. Tiny, almost imperceptible lights twinkle across its surface, tracing the paths of forgotten stars and mythic wanderers. Around its base, old leather-bound tomes rest on small, carved stands, each open to a page detailing an astronomical chart or a legend of the night sky. The light from the globe casts dancing shadows on the surrounding walls, which are adorned with faded tapestries depicting star maps. This alcove feels like a private observatory, a place where the secrets of the universe are quietly contemplated, preserved within the mountain's embrace. The soft hum of the globe is the only sound, a gentle, cosmic lullaby within the ancient stone. The soft hum of the globe continues, a gentle, cosmic lullaby resonating subtly within the ancient stone of this chamber. Its inner light, a serene, cool blue, casts long, dancing shadows across the polished wooden shelves that rise like silent sentinels. They reach high, almost impossibly so, into the vaulted ceiling above, their uppermost reaches lost in the gentle gloom. Each shelf holds countless volumes, their spines a kaleidoscope of muted colors, deep forest greens, faded maroons, and sun-bleached creams, marked with symbols and scripts from forgotten eras. You might almost perceive the faint, sweet scent of aged paper and leather, mingled with a crisp hint of mountain air that occasionally drifts in from unseen, high-up vents, a quiet breath of the world outside. Soft, distant breeze. This is a place where knowledge rests, undisturbed, waiting patiently for the moment it might be needed, or simply observed in quiet reverence. As your gaze slowly lifts from the mesmerizing sphere, You observe the intricate carvings on the ends of the nearest shelf rows. Delicate patterns of swirling stars and familiar constellations are etched into the dark wood, mirroring the very mysteries held within the globe's soft glow. Dust motes, tiny specks of ancient light, drift lazily in the cool, still air, performing a silent, slow dance as they catch the ambient light. The atmosphere feels utterly timeless, as if the very passage of hours has paused within these magnificent, protective walls. Beyond the immediate, intricately detailed shelves, further into the cavernous space, more rows of books recede into the gentle shadows, creating an endless, peaceful labyrinth of quiet wisdom. A profound sense of peace settles here, a quiet understanding that all stories, all questions find their calm and safe dwelling within this mountain library, guarded by the silent stone. The quiet promise of discovery sleeps alongside you, cradled by the soft, steady hum. That soft, steady hum is the breath of the mountain itself, a deep, resonant whisper that carries through the stone and wood of this ancient library. You feel it more than hear it, a gentle vibration that calms the air and settles the dust motes dancing in the faint light. Beyond the grand hall, winding passages lead to smaller, more intimate chambers, each one a haven of quiet contemplation. Imagine stepping into one such alcove, nestled deep within the mountain's heart. The walls here are not just lined with books, but are carved from the very rock, smoothed by ages of patient hands and the slow erosion of time. A single, low-burning lantern casts a warm, honeyed glow across a collection of aged scrolls, tied with silken cords and resting on a polished wooden stand. Their paper, brittle and fragrant with the scent of forgotten herbs and wisdom, seems to pulse with a silent energy. Here, the air is stiller, a sacred hush falling upon everything. Perhaps a heavy, leather-bound tome lies open on a simple stone table, its pages filled with elegant, faded script that tells tales of forgotten constellations or the gentle cycles of the earth. The knowledge contained within these walls isn't demanding. It's simply asterisk is asterisk. It waits patiently for a quiet mind to seek its companionship. The mountain library, in its vastness, holds countless such peaceful nooks. Each one invites a deep, unhurried rest, a sense of belonging amidst the stories of old. You are but a silent observer, a welcome guest in this sanctuary of slumbering lore. The cool, solid presence of the mountain embraces this space, a guardian of dreams and whispered histories, now holding you gently in its enduring peace. The mountain's embrace is a gentle hum, a quiet assurance as you settle deeper into its lore-filled heart. From the grand hall, a soft, winding path, barely more than a suggestion etched into the rock, leads deeper within. It's not a path for hurried steps, but for thoughtful meanderings, guiding you toward a smaller, more intimate space. Here, the air feels subtly different, perhaps a touch cooler, carrying the faint, earthy scent of ancient parchment and cool stone. This alcove, carved with a quiet reverence, seems designed for solitary contemplation. A single, heavy wooden desk, polished smooth by countless hands and centuries of study, stands at its center. Its surface, a rich, dark oak, holds a few carefully placed objects. A small, unlit lantern, its glass dusty but intact, and a thick, leather-bound tome, its pages slightly fanned open as if recently consulted. The cover, though worn, still shows the faint impression of a stylized mountain peak, a symbol of this very sanctuary. Above the desk, a small, circular window, perhaps a natural fissure widened by careful hands, offers a glimpse of the starry night sky. Its light, a faint, silvery glow, mixes with the ambient warmth from the main library, creating a soft, inviting atmosphere. Around the alcove, shelves rise from floor to ceiling, not filled with grand, imposing volumes, but with smaller, more personal scrolls and slender manuscripts, each carefully labeled in a delicate, unfamiliar script. They speak of quiet observations, of journeys taken inward, of the mountain's own silent wisdom, transcribed over generations. This secret corner, a whisper within a whisper, invites you to simply be, to let the quiet stories of the mountain library settle around you like a soft, comforting blanket. Here, in this hushed alcove of the mountain library, time seems to slow its ceaseless march. The air is still, carrying only the faintest scent of old parchment and cool mountain stone. You might notice the gentle glow from a single, unblinking lantern, casting long, dancing shadows across the spine of forgotten histories. Each book, each scroll, holds a silent tale, patiently waiting for a curious mind, or simply offering its quiet presence to the atmosphere as you settle deeper into the soft warmth. Perhaps a plush cushion cradles you, or a thick, woven rug softens the ancient stone floor beneath. The towering wooden shelves rise around you, dark and sturdy, filled with countless volumes bound in leather and linen. Their titles, some faded, some bold, hint at worlds known and unknown, of forgotten spells, ancient star charts, and the quiet lives of legendary heroes. Some books are delicate, their pages yellowed and brittle with age, while others are robust, their covers carved with symbols that gleam faintly in the low, ambient light. The quiet hum of the mountain outside, perhaps the distant, almost imperceptible sound of the wind sighing through the peaks, or the soft patter of rain against a high, leaded window pane, only enhances the feeling of being wonderfully sheltered. This corner is a sanctuary, a quiet haven where thoughts can unwind and the mind can drift freely, enveloped by the accumulated wisdom of ages. It is a place of gentle lore, where stories rest in patient slumber, ready to offer their comfort. All that is left is to simply breathe and let the soft echoes of the past guide you deeper into calm, as if you too are becoming part of this timeless quiet. The timeless quiet deepens now, as if the very air around you has settled into an even more profound, gentle hush. You feel a subtle shift, a barely perceptible turning, as the path within this ancient place continues to softly unfold. A narrow, softly lit corridor now stretches ahead, its old stone walls worn smooth by centuries of countless, quiet footsteps. Each step you don't take echoes only in memory, a soft, reassuring cadence that guides you deeper forward without any effort at all. This quiet corridor soon widens and gently opens into a small, almost perfectly circular chamber. This is not a grand hall, but a deeply intimate space, imbued with the quiet purpose of preservation. It feels like a hidden archive, a safe room for countless untold tales, patiently waiting. In the center of this room, a sturdy, dark wooden table, surface aged and smooth from generations of careful use, holds several rolled-up maps. Their ancient parchment edges are slightly curled and yellowed with time. Some are tied with delicate, faded ribbons, hinting at long-forgotten journeys across distant, dreamed-of lands. Around the gently curving walls, built-in cupboards hold even more scrolls, each carefully placed, waiting for a gentle hand to slowly unroll its secrets. A soft, constant glow emanates from a small, enchanted lantern hanging peacefully above the table, casting a warm, steady light over the ancient parchments and the polished wood. The air here is perfectly still, carrying the faint, comforting scent of old paper, dried ink, and a whisper of distant hearth smoke. It is a place where time itself seems to slow, inviting only the softest contemplation. A place where the quiet echoes of the past are not just heard, but almost seen, gently woven into the very fabric of the room itself. The quiet echoes of the past are not just heard, but almost seen, gently woven into the very fabric of the room itself. And as you allow your gaze to softly drift, you might notice how these echoes take shape in the smallest of details. Perhaps a single, slow beam of moonlight, or the distant glow of a hidden lantern, finds its way through an unseen opening, illuminating a narrow column of air. In this gentle shaft of light, tiny specks of dust, like miniature, sleepy stars, perform a slow, silent dance. Each particle is a tiny whisper of time, suspended, almost motionless, a testament to the profound stillness that has settled here for ages. The air around the ancient tome of whispers is cool and carries the faint, comforting scent of aged parchment and forgotten ink. It's a scent that speaks of countless stories held within bindings of leather and linen, each page a repository of quiet wisdom. You can almost feel the weight of those centuries, not heavy or oppressive, but soft and inviting, like a cherished ancient blanket. The very silence here feels curated, a precious, undisturbed stillness. This soft, timeless aura wraps around the central pedestal where the tome rests, its cover a mosaic of faded hues and subtle textures. It doesn't demand attention, but rather it invites a gentle, unhurried contemplation. The shadows in the room are deep but friendly, holding the corners of the space in a soft embrace, allowing the central focus to remain on the quiet presence of the book. Here, time has become a patient observer, and you, too, can simply observe, allowing the calm, unhurried rhythm of this ancient place to cradle your thoughts into serenity. The soft, inner light of the ancient book continues its gentle pulse, casting a warm, honeyed glow across the worn wooden lectern where it rests. This light doesn't just illuminate, it seems to soften the very edges of the air, diffusing into the quiet space around it. You can almost feel the gentle warmth it emanates, a silent testament to the countless stories and forgotten wisdom held within its pages. The delicate, almost imperceptible hum of its energy is a lullaby for the mind, inviting a deeper sense of tranquility. Beyond the immediate circle of its radiant comfort, the light stretches, just barely touching the spines of the nearest books on the towering, dark wood shelves. Each spine, a silent sentinel, holds its own collection of whispers, though none as vibrant as the one before you. The intricate carvings on the wooden panels of the lectern become more defined in this tender glow, revealing patterns of intertwining vines and tiny, dreaming creatures that seem to stir in the soft illumination. A profound stillness fills the vast library, broken only by the almost imperceptible settling of dust motes in the air, dancing gently in the faint light. Perhaps a soft, far-away echo of wind against the distant mountain peaks, a sound so delicate it merely adds to the profound sense of quiet, rather than disturbing it. Your gaze might drift upward, following the majestic curve of a grand archway that disappears gracefully into the shadows above, hinting at more levels, more silent halls, yet to be explored within this colossal structure. For now, this small, illuminated sanctuary, anchored by the ancient book, offers all the peace and stillness one could wish for. The world outside, with its demands and its hurry, feels impossibly far away, a distant memory that dissolves into the soft, secure embrace of this timeless library. There is only the quiet presence, the gentle glow, and the deepening sense of calm that settles over everything, inviting you to simply be. The quiet presence of the library deepens, a soft hush that seems to absorb all worries, leaving only tranquility. You notice the subtle shift in the air, perhaps a faint scent of old parchment and distant pine, carried gently from the mountain peaks through unseen vents. The light from the enchanted globes overhead casts long, gentle shadows, across the meticulously organized shelves, each one a testament to forgotten lore and quiet wisdom. Your gaze might drift now towards a section of the library rarely disturbed, perhaps dedicated to ancient cartography. Here, oversized tomes with worn leather bindings rest on sturdy, carved wooden stands, their pages holding maps of lands that exist only in legend or within the deep reaches of memory. These are not maps for travel, but for contemplation, for tracing the quiet paths of thought. One particular map, unfurled partially on a stand, depicts a mountain range, its contours softened by time, its peaks crowned with what appear to be tiny, shimmering constellations rather than snow. It's a map that speaks of the library's own origins, etched into the very rock of this place, whispering of stars observed from its highest, most secluded towers. The subtle dust motes dance in the soft light above this map, each one a tiny, silent traveler in the library's enduring stillness. This quiet corner is a place where time slows to a whisper, inviting you to linger, to simply be present within its ancient, peaceful embrace. The quiet corner you found yourself in seems to absorb all sounds, leaving only the soft hum of ancient knowledge settling into its shelves. Outside the high windows, the mountain air grows cooler, and the last slivers of twilight fade from the distant peaks, replaced by the soft, steady glow of interior lights. Perhaps it's a hidden magical luminaire above, or the distant, gentle flicker of a hearth on another floor. Its warmth barely reaching this secluded space, the scent of aged paper and polished wood deepens with the night, a comforting, familiar presence. The very air feels heavy with stories untold, with histories deeply cherished, yet perfectly still, perfectly safe. There is no rush here, no urgency. The library has shared its quiet mysteries, its enduring peace, and now it invites you to simply exist within its tranquil embrace. Like a seasoned traveler finding a final, welcoming in after a long journey, you are now at rest. The world beyond these thick stone walls has receded, its sounds and demands growing distant, soft, and unimportant. All that remains is this profound stillness, this gentle quiet that encourages release. As the mountain library settles into its long, watchful night, so too can you. The pages of all its books are now at rest, their tales waiting patiently for another dawn, another curious eye. You have journeyed through its quiet depths, explored its hushed corridors, and now it offers you its deepest, most profound peace. Allow yourself to be held by this pervasive stillness, by the gentle, unwavering warmth of this sanctuary. Let your thoughts soften, like shadows lengthening and dissolving into the quiet halls. There is nothing more to do, nowhere else to be. Just gentle, peaceful rest. Drift now into the deep, quiet sleep you have earned, knowing this library will keep watch until morning.